some folks we haven't even got to see on this. Like, we have missed out on Laura Ingraham, who I pronounce her name that way only because I know it would irritate her. So apparently, everybody is like an after-the-fact psychic. I'm picturing that your brother, I have a sister, your sister, I was going to say the sister, but I think has a first name that starts with an X, T, I was going to say T. Like, they're all that level of psychic right now. Oh, the Greg Kelly meltdown? Oh, we have a Greg Kelly and Carrie Lake video. Oh, boy. Hold on. But hang out. I want to see how Laura Ingraham... This video is, this was predictable. Like, well, then why didn't you fucking predict it, you stooge? Here we go.
Laura Ingraham, this is the Ingraham angle from Los Angeles tonight.
Oh, dear God. Get out of my town, you creep. Also, nice choice on blouse. I wouldn't have gone with the Trump Epstein, but I'm glad you did. Hold on 1 second. Hello, I love you. Won't you tell me your name? Don't fucking, what are you assholes thinking? What are you doing? You haven't learned yet? If you're not going to learn, I'm not going to help. Don't wear green on TV, stupid. Don't do it. Are you dumb? She's literally wearing, let me show you what this looks like without the filter on it, without the green screen chroma key on it. Let me show you something. It is dead on green. That is as green screeny green gets. Look at that shit. Are you nuts? It's not even like I'm working it. One of the other ones, last week, somebody was wearing like a deeper green or something. But this is like, it's like they literally are draping a green screen. Like, oh my God, I don't have anything to wear. And they're just like, just drape your green screen over yourself. Just cut a hole in it and stick your head fucking through. They're never going to learn. They're never going to fucking learn. They're not going to. That, like, it's on the nose green. Oh, stupid. I mean, how do you not, what am I supposed to do? The fuck am I supposed to do? How am I not supposed to do this? Yeah, that's right. It was Carrie Lake wore green this weekend. Oh my God. How do these people, they've never.
Right now, we're monitoring election results in 2 states, Arizona and Nevada.
Uh-huh.
Now, the Fox News decision desk is projecting that in Nevada, the governorship is flipping from Democrat to Republican. Incumbent Governor Steve Sisolak putting out a statement tonight conceding that he will fall short of winning, and he wished Republican Sheriff Joe Lombardo.
Really? So your decision desk waits until a Democrat concedes? Is that how you work? Is everybody at that fucking network psychic? I'm sorry, this is so stupid.
Much success. And in Arizona, any moment we're expecting a new vote count from Maricopa County. About 80,000 ballots or so, but that always can change. More than 50% of those are early ballots that were then dropped off on Election Day. We're going to bring you the details as they come in this hour. But first.
Oh, please let us watch her figure this out. Please let it happen in this 9-minute clip.
Wrong lessons. That's the focus of tonight's angle.
Thank God. You know what? You think you lost. You didn't. You're a winner. That's right. Dream big. Don't be afraid. You're always, you know what? You're going to come away from this thinking, oh, we're fucked. Our message sucked. Nobody likes us. And you'd be right. But you don't have to learn that. Just because it's true doesn't mean you have to learn it. You know, it's like math class where you're like, I'd rather use letters. Oh, thank God she has a graphic.
Now, it was predictable. The GOP establishment, which has been losing elections since about 2006.
Oh, you mean since Fox went hard for them?
Would declare the Republicans' disappointing midterm showing the death knell for populism.
Hold on 1 second. I can't allow that to happen. Hi there.
Now, the rationale being that because certain Trump-backed candidates lost in key races.
Yes, the key Trump-backed candidates, the ones he didn't just pick from them going, yeah, this person's a shoo-in. Oh, cool. I'll just do, give me at least 200 shoo-ins so I can pretend to have a good record.
The entire populist movement lost, too.
On the Republican side, they have to reject the MAGA agenda.
Democrats ran on an agenda that was going to deliver for the American people. The American people rejected the MAGA extremism.
And they did.
Well, David Brooks, the liberals' favorite liberal, masquerading as something more sophisticated, likened it all to a fever finally breaking. Performative populism has begun to ebb, he wrote, and Trump's nihilistic violence that lay at the heart of it all. Writing in the New York Times.
Yeah, but don't worry, kids. Laura hopes deep within her heart that violent nihilism still lives on, and it's still got a chance. We can all still root for nihilistic populism. Come on, violent nihilistic populism.
Matthew Continetti struck a similar note, arguing that Tuesday's results bear a striking resemblance to the midterm elections of 1998. When setback then led to renewal.
Yeah, that's what they're hoping for. You know what? We had to lose this one so we can win big later. Don't worry, Newt Gingrich will save us.
When the party then went on to embrace Texas Governor George W. Bush, who had won re-election, of course, in 1998 in Texas. Now, word to the wise.
Yeah, so basically no one watching your show? Hold on one second. I've got to fix this if I may. It's going to bother me because she keeps, moving these shots. She's trying to take me down. She can't do it.
If you're actually trying to help Ron DeSantis in 2024, best not to make a comparison to the president who hasn't been invited to speak at any RNC convention since he left office.
Yeah, but he did get reelected and actually get to do policy, dumb fuck. Trump's been invited to all of them. He was a one-termer. The wrong lesson would be to back the dude who got his ass kicked after he was no longer an unknown entity versus the dude who I do not particularly like. I voted against twice, but got reelected, for fuck's sake. He's your dude.
But the pro-war coalition they're emboldened. You have to...
Pro-war coalition. Liz Cheney's pro-war because she wants to protect Ukraine. That's what it is. Basically, we're looking at Jimmy Dore and drag.
You have to face facts. And they're marching together, led by their fallen star general, Liz Cheney, who's enjoying the moment herself, falsely believing that Tuesday's results mean America is hankering for the good old days of Fallujah and Kandahar.
It was a clear victory for Team Normal. I do think it was the American people generally sending a message. They want to pull us back from the brink. They don't want this nation to go, over the edge. We have to make sure that. Also,
by the way, I don't particularly care for Liz Cheney or whatever. I appreciate her at least finding some spine on some of these issues, but she is not her dad. She didn't commit the crimes her dad committed. I'm not passing crimes on to children in any situation. If she makes the same mistakes or calls for the same, invasion bullshit, then she can answer for it just like any other fucking adult. But this idea that because she has the same last name as her dad, which, by the way, Laura Ingraham and everybody at Fox News was carrying water for Cheney during the entire Bush presidency. The fact that they're turning on him is a fucking joke.
The incentives are there to elect the kind of people who are going to make sure that they're part of the solution.
Now, is Cheney actually saying that she, a Republican rejected by her own voters in her own state, who lives in existence wholly derivative of Donald Trump,
who lives in existence wholly derivative of Donald Trump? Yes. He is saying we are separate from Donald Trump. It's like rays thinking they can be separate from the sun.
She's on Team Normal. Now
oh my God, give me a break. Team Normal, whatever. I can't explain that sentence, Mark. It makes no fucking sense. Listen to that again. Shall we? Let's just listen to what the fuck she was talking about. Listen to this.
Her own voters in her own state.
Hold on, back up.
That she, a Republican rejected by her own voters in her own state, who lives an existence wholly derivative of Donald Trump, that she's on Team Normal.
It lives an existence, I think, totally derivative of Donald Trump. I don't know what the fuck that means, other than, does Laura Ingraham think that the entire, like, the Republican Party as a movement was born out of Trump's ass? I don't understand. Look, clearly, people like Hagman. Nobody likes Liz Cheney. People like Hagman. Hagman, I am the Hagman. I love the walrus. I love the Trump bots. Coo coo ka choo to boo boo pa choo to boo boo pa doo ba doo. All right.
Now, she's vowed to fight Ron DeSantis, too, as I recall, and endorse Democrat Tim Ryan.
What do you mean, as you recall? Did she or didn't she? Find the fucking clip. She didn't say what, sorry, did the Hegman thing throw everybody? Sorry about that.
Over J.D. Vance in Ohio. So for all intents and purposes, she's a pro-war Democrat.
How? The fuck? Also, what the fuck do you mean pro-war Democrat? Seriously, I don't even know where, like, they're grasping this. This is the warmonger line that you hear from, like, Aaron Mate and Tulsi Gabbard and all the fuckers who are on, like, retainer with the Kremlin. They've just gotten marching orders. Call everybody on the left a warmonger if they want to support Ukraine. Like, you're a murderer if you back this is a good example. You are pro-murder if you side with a woman who killed her husband in self-defense while she was being beaten or nearly killed. Like, her husband was threatening her with a gun. She wrestled the gun away and shot him. And if you're for her, you're for murder. First-degree murder. That's the argument. That is a rock-solid analogy of what they're talking about.
At war with the 74 million who voted for Trump in 2020 because they were done with the Bush-Cheney alternatives. Now, David Brooks himself admitted that Trump deserves credit for reinventing the GOP and then setting the party on a path to being a multiracial working-class party. Well, you bet
Until
he deserves credit.
You bet he does. He deserves credit for losing the House and the Senate and the presidency and then the Senate again and then the House again.
That and for a whole...
Hey, but at least they got the fucking SCOTUS. Oh, wait, that was Mitch McConnell.
A lot more. Now, think about the shape the GOP was in back in
well, I think I'm in pretty good shape, actually.
2015. People have very short memories.
Do they? Do they now?
Well, first of all, it was a boring party.
Yeah, okay. Like, sure, they held office. Sure, they got shit, that we wanted done. But boring. Hello.
It was stuck in
This is like the Real Housewives of political commentary.
a 2004 time warp with out-of-touch approaches and totally not in sync with the concerns of average Americans.
I believe that the great majority of people coming here illegally have no other option. They want to provide for their family. And
Yeah, that sounds horrifying.
there should be a path to earn legal status.
Yeah, cut out the rest of his argument there. But that compassionate conservatism is completely out of step with, they voted for Democrats. Never mind.
That bell couldn't have come soon enough.
You edited it, you fuck.
Okay, other than the Tea Party victories of 2010.
Yeah, which were awesome and so fun. I mean, who can forget, keep your government hands off of my Medicare?
Where was the excitement and growth in the Republican Party?
Yeah, where was it? I mean, you gained office and you actually won the presidency and
Well, and hadn't had much really energy since about 1996 when
Oh, fuck you, Pat Buchanan. That's your idea of excitement? Not the 8 years you actually had the fucking presidency and you were allegedly executing a war on terror?
Pitchfork Pat Buchanan, the intellectual populist.
The intellectual populist. You mean the racist?
Ahead of his time when he won
ahead of his time. That's true. That's true. He was anti-Semitic and racist well before it was cool.
the New Hampshire primary. Before 2016, Republicans were losing the working class voters, those Reagan Democrats. They were falling away.
Yeah, they still didn't get him. He brought out the woodsy racists.
And they were also failing to connect with Hispanics back then. And let's not forget, Republicans, they were helping China get richer and more powerful.
Fuckers. You know what? You've convinced me, Laura Ingraham. I'm never voting for a Republican. Oh, I never have. Never mind.
As more Americans, of course, had their jobs shipped overseas.
Yeah, it's interesting that Biden's bringing them back. Funny.
Obama
I'm sure she'll bring it up.
beat both of their establishment candidates in 2008.
Yeah, but that's because he's eminently qualified, very smart, charismatic, and driven, and gave a shit.
And then 2012. McCain and Romney were annihilated. Florida went Democrat in both cycles. And in the process, Obama chalked up 2 Supreme Court justices. Would have had 3 if it weren't for McConnell.
Uh-huh. She might be onto something.
The establishment GOP had embraced
Yes, I did forget handsome. You're absolutely right. He is a handsome man.
globalism and endless war. They'd overseen the flattening of America's wealth.
And yet, you backed them during the entire time. That's right. During everything she's complaining about, Laura carried buckets full of Republican piss over the finish line. She had a bar across her shoulders and like a world's record number of buckets of Republican piss that she was carrying across the finish line, to dump on Republican voters and tell them it's raining. Shut the fuck up.
And presided over the 2008 economic meltdown.
Had they presided over? You mean they were in charge when it fucking happened?
All the while paying lip service to social conservatives.
What was that? Oh, you mean not bailing out the economy and just letting it die?
Well, Trump came in and he turned that all around.
He turned it all around, baby. That's right. We went back to George H.W. Bush one-termer, like ba-boom.
Fast forward to today.
Do we have to? I'd like to tell you guys here in Florida, I'm going to be president one day, so I'm doing president standing. Also, sorry to interrupt your beauty pageant, but I'll finish in a second.
Now, I'm not going to dwell on Trump's dust-up with other potential 2024 nominees.
No, why not? Why, that seems like it would be exciting news. It seems like it wouldn't be boring. That's one of the least boring things about the Republicans. It's not a gold dress, it's a green dress. I'm kidding. I'm messing around.
But as far as DeSantis is concerned,
yeah, fuck that guy.
keep your eye on the establishment types who start throwing money at him.
Oh, yeah. No, I will. I don't trust those fuckers at all. If they say they like him, I'll take your advice and just say he's a piece of shit. He's garbage. What a terrible... He's probably a pro-war Democrat now that I think about it.
The big government coalition representing Wall Street, big defense contractors, big tech. Oh, yeah, they're already circling.
Are they? Did somebody forget to flush and then they're like, oh, who missed this?
And they're going to try to co-opt DeSantis. And
oh, yeah? And it'll be easy here, like, because he's weak.
change him. And eventually, they'll try to swallow him whole.
And that's your job, Laura. Wait, what? They'll what? The fuck is wrong with you?
What is this?
Hold on. What? They're circling?
And change him. And circling.
Hold on.
And they're going to big defense contractors, big tech. Oh, yeah, they're already circling. And they're going to try to co-opt DeSantis and change him. And eventually, they'll try to swallow him whole.
Laura, don't talk with your mouth full.
What is DeSantis's populism? Does he get more populist? Does he actually replace Trump in the fringy way? Or does
in the fringy way
he replace Trump and sort of move back more to the middle?
I mean, I think the gestures are going to be there, but, you know, it's going to be more mainstream.
More mainstream.
In terms of what Wall Street wants.
What Wall Street wants, what corporate America wants. I mean, the question is, would you pick a fight with Disney today?
No.
Picking a fight with Disney?
Yes, in Florida, where fucking Disney World and Epcot Center are, where the Disney cruises leave from, where literally Disneyland is a major factor, or Disney World rather, is a major factor in the economy of the state. If it shuts down for a month, it could cause a drifting recession in parts of the state. Of course.
Disney was picking a fight with parents, Andrew.
Oh, were they? What? How are they doing that? Oh, by letting gay people be gay? I see. Terrible.
Now, populism isn't extreme, it's pragmatic.
I see. These are pragmatic populist people. PPP.
There was plenty of good news for Republicans that the media seek to ignore, of course.
Sorry, my green screen is popping this out. It says, New York Democrats know who to blame themselves. Politico, this is November 9th. GOP hopes of huge Latino gains realized in Florida. No longer purple. Florida turns deep red. That's
on Tuesday. The inroads made in New York, flipping 4 seats there. The closer than expected races in the Pacific Northwest. The continued shift rightward of Hispanic voters. And, of course, the huge populistic...
By the way, the, quote, continued shift rightward by Hispanic voters totally just punches a hole in the lifeboat idea that they're like, Democrats are just trying to flood America with Mexicans and people from South America so that they can just print voters. They're just bringing them up here to vote. And then they're like, oh, these people live here a while. They kind of vote with us sometimes. Shit.
Expansion in Texas.
Yeah, I know. Washington was a blowout. She's just full of shit. She means like Portland governor's race.
And, of course, in Florida. Pretty boy Beto lost by almost 11 points to incumbent Greg Abbott.
In a state where he shouldn't even be, it should have been 60-40, if not 70-30.
And strong populist, social conservative, Dan Patrick.
Social conservative, what?
Abbott. And strong populist, social conservative.
Social conservative. I see. That's a lot of conservatism. I mean, you're getting 2 for the price of 1, so I don't know why you wouldn't vote for him.
Dan Patrick was reelected as lieutenant governor by double digits as well. So if the establishment really has all the answers, how is it that Lisa Murkowski didn't sail to victory in Alaska? And how did
because the rest of your party was knifing her tires?
Romney get embarrassed in Utah when he refused to endorse Mike Lee, who ended up winning handily?
Yeah, you don't endorse people just because they're going to win. If you're against what they think and say, don't endorse them. I know, it's crazy. The dude literally came out and said we need to get rid of Social Security. Of course Mitt Romney's not going to. He could never run for president if he endorses Mike Lee after Mike Lee says that. Are you stupid?
Now, if not Trump, whoever rises to the top of the pack in 2024, he or she is going to be bombarded by the Romney-Cheney crowd.
Are they? You mean Republicans?
They're going to pull out every possible stop to push him or her toward the old Bush policy.
Him. It's going to be a him.
Policies of endless war, partnering with the CCP.
Endless war and partnering with the CCP. I mean, is she just mad that Jimmy Dore only goes on Tucker? Does she want him to come on her show too?
And open borders. And here's the thing.
We don't have open borders.
It's really tough if you're a Republican to avoid getting
it's hot out there for a pimp.
Pushed in that direction.
Come on.
Most GOP foreign policy types support the Bush foreign policy. Most GOP trade policy experts are pro-CCP and pro-World Trade Organization.
Pro-CCP. And they've been this way the whole time. And you've been a lockstep Republican supporter and voter for decades. And so now, after the fucking 2022 midterms, Laura Ingraham is telling us that these people are not just, a bad way to go, but enemies of the state. The fuck is Fox News at this point? You guys put them in this position. You guys went for them every fucking time. What? That's what she's talking about, Papa P. She's talking about the GOP. She's talking about they are the pro-CCP forever war crowd. Jesus Christ. Well, why have you been telling people to vote for Republicans for 2 decades now?
And most GOP policy types have sympathy for generous immigration amnesty.
Ew.
DeSantis and his team, they will be flooded with memoranda supporting all of these bad ideas. But my guess, and it's just a guess right now.
Which, I mean, everything else she guessed at one point that the Republicans would be the party to back, and that their trade policy and their foreign policy are all aligned and are good.
Is that DeSantis and any smart, serious candidate will consult with everyone in the GOP, but avoid the establishment trap. I'm thinking a campaign with a positive, fresh populist message.
Yeah, totally fresh, right out of the oven.
That affirmatively embraces America First policies.
Yeah, it's like a Republican biscuit.
That has the best chance of winning.
Yeah, and I know it can win because I said there was going to be a red wave, and I've been backing the Republican establishment for over 2 decades now. And basically, until Donald Trump lost last time, I was basically like, these people are awesome. I would crawl through broken glass to nuzzle their butthole with my nose. And if I could give a rusty trombone to anyone in the Republican Party, I would do so. And now all of a sudden, I'm like, wait a minute, something's up. Jesus Christ. So, by the way, you're watching Hal Sparks Mega Worldwide. Like, subscribe, support the show, give it a thumbs up.